Tottenham swept a sorry Southampton to return to the top 4 in the Premier League, while the scale of the task assumed by Ralph Hasenhuttl was uncovered in a small Wembley stadium. Southampton split from Marcus on Monday, and had former captain Kelvin Davis in the dugout, with Austrian Hasenhuttl watching from the stands here in London, but offered nothing as a new rebound from the manager against his former boss. The Spurs set the tone early, since Kane became thanks to a quick thought on the part of Kieran Trippier and Christian Eriksen. From then on it was a walk. 2 early shots in the second half of Lucas Moura and Heung-min Son sealed the result, and left the Southerners in the last 3, although Hasenhuttl was allowed to smile when Charlie Austin got his first league goal of the season in the minute end of additional time. Southampton are enduring their worst defensive season since their first return in the Premier League 6 years ago, which is not surprising to the defender at Wembley. A quick corner was all that Jack Stevens and Yoshida needed to allow a winner of the World Cup Gold Boot the freedom of their penalty area, when Kane slid between the pair to mark the low centre of Eriksen, then of his 7th goal in 6 games against the South Club of the Coast. What followed in the face of a disappointing, but understandable, turnout of only 33,012 supporters at Wembley looked like a scene from the Spurs training camp on Hotspur Way. Davis clearly took a defensive position at all costs for his lone play in the dugout when the visitors sat down deeply and refused to push. Spurs moved the ball with ease when Alex McCarthy received a stop to stop Son, Eriksen and Kane, while at the break, Italian striker Manolo Gabbiadini offered little. Hugo Lloris did not care much, but he had to stay alert when he stopped Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, a midfielder with a penchant for long-range hits, cuddling one past him, tilting the Danish's powerful vertical swing. After a week in which, admitted Pochettino, the matches against Chelsea, Inter Milan and Arsenal had exhausted his side, Southampton might have been tempted to leave in the second half and test the reserves of their hosts. Instead, they continued to invite pressure, and paid within 10 minutes after the restart. Hasenhuttl will have been dismayed, since his new team could not learn from his initial error, and left another forward free from a corner. This time, Lucas, who benefits from a lot of space for volleyball to the goal, when the second ball landed at his feet, a hand of Stevens stopped his first effort to find the back of the net, but nothing was blocked when followed through the goal to double the lead. Minutes later and poor decision making would undo the Saints again. Instead of simply knocking out Matt Targett, who retired for the last time at Wembley in the playoff final, while on loan at Fulham last season, he sought to protect Lucas's ball, before directing his direct dispatch to Brazilian, the deviation that Son took that involved the victory. Southampton had the chance to return to the game, but he showed why goals have been so difficult to achieve in recent years when James Ward-Prowse squandered the good opportunities, shooting directly at Lloris from a short distance after the Frenchman stopped another Højbjerg trip. On his way, although both sides of the possibility of English Nathan Redmond and Charlie Austin perhaps had the bad luck not to get a consolation, denied by the crossbar and Lloris respectively. The latter, at least, was rewarded for his efforts when the Spurs finally broke up late. The timid goal scorer allowed him to run free of the last 4, and finish through a Lloris. For Pochettino it was almost the perfect night after the efforts of last week. A comfortable victory assured without breaking the sweat when his four main rivals fell points, while for his former employers, a sense of optimism about the game, brought by the appointment of a progressive and exciting coach, was marred by a completely disagreement performance with his ideals. Hasenhuttl has a long season ahead.